This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Palmer Lake, Colorado. I am here at Kirkland Photography. Since 2000, they have been providing photography and design for clients here in Colorado. I'm here with the president as well as photographer. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. This began professionally in the year 2000, but like most in this profession, it starts as a hobby. I bet it probably went back a little further than that. You have now really taken it up a notch as far as professional photography goes. I mean, you're one of the top in the region here. You're an award-winning photographer, as well as even a teacher in the trade now. Share with us a little bit how this passion got started for you.
You know, my very first camera was a little Brownie Hawkeye in 1961 or 2. And I just was always the person that loved to have the camera. Every camping trip, every event, I just happened to be the one that always had the camera. I love capturing the images of wildlife and nature and all the people that are around and being able to share that with others, the moments they can't be there with me. So it just became something to me that is a real passion.
Excellent. Let me ask you this. You're truly capturing the beauty of our life. I mean, remarkable moments throughout our life. Do you kind of feel this is a calling, really, to be able to be there and take a part in that?
For me, it is a calling. I find that we've had great photography in the past years. Your parents and my parents, we had photos. Every time we went to Safeway, we would drop off a roll, pick up a roll, and then digital photography came along, and people stopped printing photography. So I wonder what this generation will have to show to their grandchildren, because Facebook won't be here, and those little CDs are going to go the way of an 8-track tape. So my calling is to capture those people, all of their uniqueness of their personalities, and then be able to take that now and carry it forward into the next generations. A photograph that is printed lasts 100 years. So that's my goal.
Wonderful. You're really, like you say, personalities. You're capturing the essence of these folks. Do you feel it's important to kind of get to know them, and do you actually learn more about them as you're photographing them?
I do, and I think it's a mixture of technique and ability, but also there's a lot of psychology. Dad has to be comfortable, and a 2-year-old has to be comfortable, and everybody in between. So it's important for us to make them feel comfortable, and we make it fun for them so that it's not lengthy and it's not a chore for them. Dads are in and out of here so quickly, they say, "Oh, that was great. We could have done this last year," but they'll put it off not knowing.
Absolutely. You yourself, I look down, I see on the wall there, you're a member of quite a few professional photographers of Colorado, of America, the Photographers Guild of Colorado Springs. Do you feel that this ongoing education for yourself is very important?
Without the education, everything stops because it's such a dynamic industry. Things are changing daily, and software is changing. Techniques are changing, the equipment is changing, and so you have to be on it all the time with education, and always there's something you can add to your toolbox, and so teaching as well as learning is very important to me.
One of the areas of your specialty is that of, which is near and dear to all of us, is family. Share with us what family photography encompasses for you.
Family photography, the whole experience to me needs to be fun. And it needs to be efficient on my end. I have to work quickly and efficiently because Dad has probably been putting this off for a few years. If he's like every other dad in America, he would rather mow the lawn or re-tile or re-roof the roof than come in and do this. So he needs to be in and out of here in a time frame that he still feels comfortable with. The kids, I want to make sure they have fun and they have a ball, so that captures their real personality, not the personality of sit up straight and give us that smile. No, not that smile. We rarely use the word smile in this building. We'll ask the kids to say hi or yes or family or happy, and that'll get the personality back out of those kids so that I can capture it.
Not only the immediate family, but we're talking about multi-generational. That's always great photography. And some of us folks, what we definitely call photography, a family that is our pets. I mean, do you do pets as well?
Absolutely. Pets are more than welcome here. Pets are family. And we find empty nesters with 2 golden retrievers are so glad that someone is willing to pay attention to them and photograph their little family, as well as single working people. When they come home to their pets, their animals. So when they come to get photographed, really, that's their family. So we say, bring the dogs and horses and llamas or whatever it happens to be, because that's their family too.
Excellent. I mean, what I love about photography is it really captures emotion. I mean, quite honestly, there's nothing more emotional and exciting than one of our children leaving our home, like that of senior photography. Is that an exciting work for you?
High school seniors are one of my most favorite things. Love it all the way through, from beginning to end. This is that person's chance to be photographed one day, just them. Just them. No, it's not a wedding, so it's not being shared amongst all of the relatives. It's just that man or woman at this age. They're 17 years old, and they're at the peak of their sportsmanship, the peak of their musical, the peak of everything. And I love to capture that, because one day they will be 60, and they'll look back at those going, wow, I am so glad that I did this, because their children will be able to share that with them now.
Absolutely. This journey of family obviously wouldn't exist without a beautiful pregnancy period, maternity photos. Is that something pretty popular now?
I'm one of the ones that thinks maternity is one of the most beautiful times in a woman's life. They do glow. It's a beautiful time. We like to capture that in a very sensitive, a very soft way. We'll bring the little kids in if there are little kids. Dad can be in there if Dad wants to be. And then we go into the newborn and the baby's first year, and we'll produce an album at the end of that year that shows all the way from inside mom's tummy to the first birthday, where he can tear into the chocolate cake. So yes, we're very big on that whole beginning of life. Absolutely.
A lot of photographers out there do a lot of outdoor photography, but that is all. I think it's real important for a photographer to have a studio as well as an outdoor location. Do you feel the mix really captures the full picture?
I do. We insist, really. Every one of our sessions is indoor and outdoor. The people that say, all we need is the outdoor photos, will fall in love with an indoor photo, absolutely. And vice versa. The people that say, we don't need all that stuff, but you know what, we live in Colorado, and if we capture a little of Colorado with that, maybe it's the cover of their Christmas card, maybe it's the one that they're going to send to Oklahoma to their relatives. But I will tell you, when we go outdoors, a whole different family comes alive. So yes, we like the mixture, and we insist really on both. And we do it quickly again, because if you take all day doing this, we lose everybody's attention. So we try to make sure we keep everybody up and in a good mood. And so we work fairly quickly in that regard.
You're definitely comfortable in the outdoors. I mean, one of the things you have a knack for is wildlife. Is this something that came early on for you, or was it people pictures or wildlife first?
I got started with wildlife. My goal was to become one of the most noted wildlife photographers, and literally I would not photograph people at that time, because I was always on the top of a mountain somewhere waiting for a mountain goat or a bighorn sheep. My awards, that's where I started really competing with my images, and the judges, I could see in their faces that they had not seen this image, this exact image before, and that one thing led to another. But really, I cut my teeth on wildlife, no doubt.
Wonderful. Out on location, doing some great events, be it a charity event, a community event, even a family reunion. Are these all places where you feel comfortable in that environment?
That's where the wildlife photography comes in, absolutely, because I can never get a bighorn sheep to lift his chin up just so and stand in the light just perfectly. So wherever the bride and groom happen to be, I'm there. Wherever mom and dad need to be, I can make it work. I can figure out the lighting, because I'm not used to being able to move the wildlife around. So I call it's almost battle conditions. When it's starting to rain, or when the sun comes up and it's very, very bright, I just don't let that throw me, because I've got to keep my demeanor is going to reflect in those photographs. So if I'm confident, the people are going to be having fun in the photos.
The art of adapting quickly on your feet is something photographers have to learn quite quick.
Indeed.
Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is the website. First of all, on the website, take a look at some of the beautiful art. We've been showing you a lot of it on the screen right there. You can also take a look at some of the specialties and areas that he works in throughout photography. I mean, obviously, images are something that anyone can market themselves with, as well as their products. That's another passion for you, which is marketing. Do the two really go hand in hand for you?
Well, it starts with quality. Quality is the most important thing of all. If the end result is not perfect, it doesn't leave this building. Knowing that, I can market it very well because I can guarantee my clients that what that they hang in their home is going to be particularly special. The quality of the materials, the framing even, is all part of the deal. I like to market to all those different demographics, the high school seniors and the moms, expecting moms, as well as the families. But a good portion of our photography is designed for business people as well. We do a lot of commercial photography. So they have to be able to see that it's not all about 6-year-olds. Are you a good technician? Can you get a perfect photograph of my widget? And that answer is yes when it comes to Kirkland.
You're talking about product photography for catalogs, brochure work, web design. What about the actual design itself? This is something that your team is able to put together.
Design and photography go hand in hand. I don't understand how to separate the two. Every album that we lay out is graphic design. And every design that's out there requires photography these days. People are moving much more quickly now. You have to be able to say it in photography. So each photo has to say a lot more than it did 10 years ago when people would actually read a paragraph. So today, the photos are more important than ever.
You have a wonderful studio here, very spacious, comfortable. You're able to take really the client from the beginning to the end, meeting with them, consulting with them, and then finally seeing that image up on the wall. I mean, it always amazes us that folks think of an 8x10 as a big picture. You see an 8x10 up on the wall, and it looks like a photo. It looks like a postage stamp. Indeed. Is this important for you for them to be able to have that awe moment and see themselves?
It does, and it's a learning curve. Understandably, when we look at those packets from the high school or from the grade school, we say, 8x10, why would we need anything that large? It's in our minds that way until you go put an 8x10 above the fireplace, and then it's almost, well, it's a mistake. It's a mistake that you, on your couch, you can't tell that's your family. So what we find is bigger is better. The larger photographs are going to be something that every day when you walk by, it brings you joy. And that's my goal. When you're walking by the living room or walking by the den or down the stairwell, when you see that photograph, it should give you that little feeling inside. This is my family. These are my children. And that joy lasts and lasts and lasts. So my hope is to bring that joy down for the generations that aren't even here yet.
Absolutely. I've always said that photography doesn't cost. It really is an investment because this is something that brings you back year after year, and it's something you enjoy. It's not something you buy one time, you throw in the trash, it's gone, you've used it. I think that's great. I see also on the walls down there a lot of ribbons. You have been really awarded quite well, not only by your peers, but even by Kodak. Is that correct?
That's correct. And I'm proud of that, but I've got to tell you that it's selfish in nature because the more you compete, the better your photography becomes. Nothing is more important than the eye of your peer to say, did you ever think maybe if you cropped it a little differently, if you had a little different exposure, if you darkened this area here, that is where the learning really takes place. When you go in there and see the best of the best of the best, and you're competing against that group of people, it does improve your photography. So it's an ongoing process.
Absolutely. Ongoing process. Obviously, you said this industry is ever changing. You yourself have learned throughout the years. You are now teaching others. Is this kind of your way of giving back to be able to see new photographers out there learning?
Paying it forward is critical that's just who I am. We give to an enormous amount of charities, schools, organizations. But then it comes down to the photographer who's just getting started. So I do a lot of mentoring. I tell them my secrets because I want this industry to be better. I want everyone in the industry to do well. If we do better, it elevates the whole art form. So teaching is near and dear to my heart. And now it seems that the most important thing that I'm teaching right now is the business aspect of photography. Because if you're the greatest photographer in the world and you can't pay the water bill, well, then we have a problem. So I'm helping a lot of photographers now learn how to run their business as well as marketing their photographs.
Do you feel it's almost a blessing to be part of someone's life in that, just in that moment of capturing them and knowing that you're really creating something that really is going to outlive you and even them?
The blessing is exactly that. When this building is a gas station 50 years in the future, and I'm long gone, and Mom and Dad are long gone, these photos will still be here telling the story that we captured today. So great grandchildren in the year 2075 will be seeing these photos for the first time. And that excites me because that's the part that is a legacy. It's a legacy for their family. It's a legacy for me. And honestly, that is what, it really does bring that home to me, that that investment, as you mentioned, nothing they buy in the next ever will last as long as these photographs that they purchased today. Nothing, no lawnmower, even their home would be tough to find a home that's going to last as long as your great-great-grandmother's photo that you still have in your fireproof safe at home.
I believe that. I've always said if your house were to go up in flames, you don't go in for the HDTV. You're going to walk in and grab that photo off the wall. You're going to grab your photo album. That's what really is the legacy that you're talking about.
That is the truth. Those photo albums under the arm and one portrait under the other. Your kids are already in the car. The very next thing you grab after kids and pets are going to be the photographs. And we all have been going through that in Colorado quite often with the fire seasons we've been having. People are ready and they say, I ask them, what's next to your door? And they say, our photographs. If we hear that, if the bell goes off, we're putting those in the car because they cannot be replaced. Those are memories.
Excellent. Last time, viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. First of all, what you're going to see is their contact information right there. Check them out online. Check out the reviews. You can also see the members that he's part of. He sits on a few boards as well. This is a photographer that began many, many years before he took it professionally in the year 2000. Once again, that is Kirkland Professional Photography, located here in Palmer Lake, Colorado. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and today we're in Aurora, Colorado. I am here at Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Since 2015, this location has been providing the branding exposure on tangible items for folks here across Aurora. Karen, let's start off a little bit about yourself here. Share with me, you began here in 2015. The company itself has been around for several years. They're expanding now over 17 states. Share with me a little bit how it is you got involved with them.
Well, me and my husband both were interested in a franchise. We looked at quite a few, and we just really like the feel of Big Frog Custom Tees. We like the laid-back feeling. We like the way we can interact with our customers, and we really enjoy that aha moment when we're able to give someone a fresh T-shirt, and they've been looking everywhere for it, and they can't get anywhere else but here.
Excellent. I mean, quite honestly, we live in an electronic world anymore where there's many ways for us to get our brand out, our message out. But really yet, nothing beats a good old tangible T-shirt or a tangible product, an item with your message on it. Is that kind of what you're finding as well?
Absolutely. You know, from anyone from a landscaper who needs information on their T-shirt just to show their product and what they do, to schools who have a lot of small clubs, whereas, you know, they only need 5 T-shirts instead of 20 T-shirts. Sure. With our no minimum, it is very advantageous for anyone who just needs that no minimum, no setup fee offer.
Absolutely. I mean, quite honestly, a T-shirt is almost like a walking billboard, if you will, and it's everywhere. I mean, you got kids wearing them, you got adults wearing them, and this is kind of a personal approach and a very customized approach to get your message out there.
Absolutely. So yes, not only do we have T-shirts, we do have polos, we have other performance wear, we have all kinds of different kinds of garments that you can print on.
Some of the things that I've noticed, obviously, imaging on T-shirts and whatnot has been around for many years, but yet the technology keeps improving. Share with me about your technological advances here, some of the state-of-the-art industry equipment that you're able to use.
Okay, we use printer over here. It is a Brother GT Series 3. It is the newest, most developed one that they have out there. It is a LaserJet ink printer. It can print up to 16 million colors. We can even print pictures. With this technology, we don't have to make a screen, so there is no setup fee. Everything goes directly from our design stations to the print station, and we can turn most items, if it's in stock, within 24 hours.
That is amazing. So gone are the days of single color on a T-shirt or single color paying for a multicolor. We're talking about full gamuts. You're able to reproduce logos, reproduce people's original designs. But if they don't have a design, we're talking about a workstation right here. We're able to work with a designer. Is that advantageous for people, and do they actually kind of enjoy that creative process?
Oh, absolutely. That is one thing that when people come in and they can see what we can do, it is just, they're just dumbfounded that it is that simple of a process. I have 3 great employees who work very hard for me, and they're all very good at what they do when design.
Custom wear obviously is very advantageous. It's very great exposure for events. I mean, if somebody's got an event out there, or even maybe a fundraiser, this has to be a great way to get the message out there.
Yes, we've provided some shirts for Race for the Cure that's coming up this weekend. We are also providing some shirts for all kinds of runs all over the city. Denver is an area that there's a lot of very healthy people who are doing the mud runs, who are doing all the kind of runs out there, and not only just runs for fun, there's also a lot of charitable events. So we are absolutely here to help anyone in those kind of needs for shirts in that kind of area.
One of the things you mentioned earlier was the fact about a turnaround. I mean, quite honestly, in the past, a lot of these things took a lot of time, and so if you kind of thought about them last minute, you were kind of in a tight squeeze. This is different here because you're actually using the state-of-the-art equipment here. Goes straight to the printer. It's kind of like having your own custom lab right at your disposal.
Absolutely. You know, we are able to turn stuff very quickly. Sometimes it is nice to have a little more time. Sure. But we have definitely been printing late in the evening to get some people's garments who their particular person they were using fell through at the last moment, or what they got in didn't work out well for them, so they had to reorder. And that's what we're here to help them and provide them the shirts that they needed for their events. So
that's kind of a rare service that you offer when it comes to no setup fee. I mean, no setup is kind of big because a lot of times people can't even handle the budget from the front end before they even get to the printing part of it. Do people seem to enjoy that?
Absolutely. You know, for us here, it's all about re-educating the people because everyone is used to the old archaic process of silk screening. With our process, the ink goes directly into the fabric, and then we heat press it. And when we do that, the garment will not fade, it will not crack, it will not peel. Even our white shirts are even bleachable. So
the longevity of the product is even better. Obviously, we've got a lot of T-shirts all over the walls here, but that's not the only thing you guys do. Share with me some of the other products you're able to print on as well.
We're always able to print on polos, tank tops, woven shirts like I'm wearing. Pretty much most garments that are out there we're able to print on. We do need it to have a pretty large amount of cotton, but everybody loves cotton. So.
Sure. So, I mean, the process is pretty simple. You're basically choosing a product and then basically getting down on the station here, and out it comes on the other end. That's kind of got to be a fun process for folks to come in and enjoy.
It absolutely is. And, you know, when someone has been looking really hard to find something like this, once again, that aha moment when they actually see it and we take it from the print station from the design station to the print station, they're just wowed.
And that's pretty much what got you involved in this company in the first place, is the wow factor of basically able to create exposure for any events out there, but at the same time celebrating along with them.
Absolutely, absolutely, 100%.
That is great. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, take a look at the product lines there. They've got quite a few to choose from. We're talking about different types of shirts, t-shirts, polos, you name it, for men and women. And if you're not sure, just contact them. Reach out and they can walk you through the process. Easy access here, right here in Aurora. Walk into their shop, ample room. You've got a workstation that you can prepare what you're working on right there. And basically, that is a company that began here in 2015 here in Aurora. That is Big Frog, where fun is always celebrated. This is Gary Atensu with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know. We hope we've enticed you to try something new this week. Until next time, if you know of a business who you feel the whole city should know about, nominate them, we'll send a reporter out. This is Gary Atencio from CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.